Hello friends, my name is Irene and this is my channel Irene Reads, and this is the beginning of the year, and each year at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, almost every booktuber do these kinds of video where they talk about the favorite books of previous year and about plans for the next year, and also show some reading statistics. I am a person who do not care about any statistics in reading at all. I do not care how many books people read or I read, but this video are very fun to watch, and I literally watched 20 of them maybe previous week, so I decided to make this one by myself. So this will be video talking about my reading statistics of 2021 and about my plans and goals for 2022. I used Book Riot spreadsheet, and yeah, I put my books in there and it gave me some statistics. Some of them I did a little bit differently, but still I used that spreadsheet and I will link it down below. So yeah, I will talk a little bit about my numbers, and then the second part of the video I will tell you about my goals for 2022. So in 2021 I've read 70 books, which I like how round this number is. The medium length of the book was 347 pages. Only 2 of these books I've read in Russian because they were by Russian authors. All other books I've read in English. And this was my main goal for 2021, and I feel that I accomplished it totally. I wanted to read more in English, and I did it. I'm a Russian-speaking person. English is actually third language for me, but I live in English-speaking community right now in California, and I really want to talk about things I like in the language that all other people around me is talking. So I wanted to read more in English and to talk about books in English, and I do think that I'm doing great in this. Maybe this year I will read more in Russian because it's a little bit easier, and I will read more if I will read in Russian. We'll see. 69% of all books were in print, 13% in digital format, and 19% in audiobooks. 93% of all books were made for adult, 3% for young adult, 4% for middle grade. Now only 6% of all these books were rereads for me, and 43% of books I took from the library in different formats. And I really am enjoying my library very much. I am trying to take as much from it as I can, and I am very grateful for the library system here in the US. 14% of all my books were for different book clubs, and 19% was for BookTube prize. Now I didn't count books here that I've read for pleasure and then after a few months they were on the book club, because first thing they were for me and then I talked about them in the book club. My experience with BookTube prize and book clubs was so-so this year, though these books altogether they set my year a lot, and I was a little bit nervous that this year a lot of people told me what to read actually, and I want to choose myself what to read more. But I definitely will give book clubs and BookTube prize another year, and we'll see what to do with all this experience at the end of the year. I just want to mention that I enjoy my discussions in book clubs a lot. I just really want to read only books that I really want to read. I don't know if it makes sense, but yeah. Now here you can see my stats by the months. So I've read less books in February, only 2 books, and the most books I've read in a month was in December. It was 10 books. It was a brilliant month, and it was all mysteries. I think that's why. Now about book ratings. So I gave 5 stars to 28% of the book, 4 stars to 34% of the book, 3 stars to 27% of the book, and 2 stars for 10% of the book, and I never give 1 star or less. Genres, so 19% was general fiction, also 19% was historical fiction, mystery 33%, fantasy 14%, sci-fi 4%, classics 10%, and memoir 1%. I really want to read more classics, but about that in a minute. I do think that's all my stats. Also, I have one statistic point about authors. I've read 30% of authors were male and 70% were female, which I do not think matters. And yeah, it was just a number. I never look at these numbers before I'm choosing a book. It's just interesting to see that maybe I'm more interested in female authors, or I have no idea. I mean, yeah, that was the numbers. I can't even say I am happy with my statistics or not, because I do not feel that something can be right or wrong. I have read a lot, and I read a lot in English, and that was my main goal, and I fulfill it, and overall I was very happy with my reading here. Now about my reading plans for 2022, and I want to make a point here that I do not have any goals. I only have plans, and they can change, and it can be not plans but, you know, possibilities. I read for pleasure, so I can't say that I have any goals in my reading. This year I will be a little bit easier on myself about what language I read in. I will still read a lot of English because I use libraries a lot, but I will read something in Russian translation if I'm, you know, depressed, stressed. I just have this book in Russian or whatever. So one plan that I have for next year, I want to read a little bit more classic literature. Half of it will be, I am in Kate Howe's Patreon book club, and we're reading mostly Victorian literature in here, so part of it will cover my reading plans. Part of it, I have 2 huge books that I want to read by the end of this year. First of it is Foresight Saga series by John Goldsworthy. I've read first of these books few times because I always wanted, you know, to read in the entirety of it, but I stopped almost always after first or second. So for now I just really want to start at the beginning and end this series by the end of the year. These are the story of one particular family of upper English class, I think at the very end of 19th century. I enjoyed it very much previously. I hope I will enjoy it now. And yeah, this is my first plan. And this is my second plan of the year. This is War and Peace by Tolstoy. It's so weird to say it in English. Yeah, this is War and Peace. These are Russian books. So I have Russian edition. This is beautiful. I have 4 volumes. It has illustrations and it is annotated. And I just love this edition. And yeah, I have read these books in school and I enjoyed it very much. I wanted actually to reread Anna Karenina, but I caught myself that I do not pick up Anna Karenina over and over again, and every time I tell myself, well, I need to pick this book up and read, I always sigh and I wish I will read War and Peace. And then I was like, why I'm doing this to myself? If I want to read War and Peace, I have it on my shelf, I go and read it. So I do think that I will start this in February, and I hope that I will read this book by the end of the year, so no pressure on me. And yeah, I want to do this just for my joy, and because I forgot a lot about this, and because I really liked the latest BBC TV adaptation. And yeah, I just pumped to read this book. I liked it. previously. I hope I will like it now. This will be a reread for me, but the truth is I remember only general plot. So I do not think that it will be a fresh experience. Let's put it like that. These are my main plans for classics, and of course there will be Jane Austen July, and there will be October, and I do think it will cover like my most classic experience next year. Then I have two groups of books. Well, I have a huge pile of books that I always wanted to read, or I think of them too often as I read them already, but I haven't actually. Or sometimes I even lied somewhere that I read them already and I haven't, and I feel bad about this. So I divided these books in two parts. Why in two parts? Because I wanted to participate in Buzzword Readathon by Books and Lala, and Kayla had a video with all book prompts on each month. And I picked some books from this pile that I already really wanted to read and squeezed them into these prompts. Some of them are new, some of them are much older, some of them are classic books. I will read you first 6, and because for some of the prompts I just do not have books, so we'll see. And for some of them I have few possibilities that I can read, but like vaguely. For January, you need to read a book with one of the 5 W's in the title, and I'm reading right now Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. For February, you need to read a book with a pronoun in the title, and I will read Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. For March, a book with a location in the title, and I will read Empire Falls by Richard Russo. For April, a book with little or big or similar world in the title. For this I actually have 3, and I have no idea what I will read, but maybe it will be one of A Little Life by Hanye Nagihara, or Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides, or Less by Andrew Sheen Greer. These are like Pulitzer nominees, most of them, or Pulitzer, Pulitzer Prize nominees. Then for April it was. Then for May, a book with a direction in the title. For this I may read North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. I haven't read any Gaskell and I really want, so why not? Or maybe East of Eden by John Steinbeck. For June I will read a book with All in the title. I will read A Signature of All Things by Elizabeth Gilbert, which I have on my shelf for the longest, like maybe 10 years. This is my half of the year. So these the books that I picked for myself, and I looked at them as like on the plans or possibilities that I can pick up, why not? Also, I will make a book jar. I do not have it right now because my kids are not in school and it's crazy time in here and I just have no time for a book jar, but I will do it. And I picked from that pile of books that I wanted to read 12 books, and each month I will pick one book from the jar, so randomly, and read it. And these 12 books are Commonwealth by Anne Patchett, Stoner by John Williams, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, Once Upon a River by Diane Satterfield, H is for Hawk by Helen MacDonald, Dune by Frank Herbert, The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett, The Color Purple by Alice Walker, Normal People by Sally Rooney, Fingersmith by Sarah Waters, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and Rules of Civility by Amor Towles. Generally speaking, those are my 5-star predictions for the year. I hope that all of these books will be 5-star for me, and I hope that I will have a wonderful year with all these books that I will be reading. But if at one point I decided that I do not read any of this and I will read a romance for a month, it will be completely and absolutely fine. Also, if I want to read one of the jar books right now, maybe second a month, I will do it, and I will just pick this paper from the jar and throw it away. So no obligations, just, you know, possibilities and plans, and I really hope I will have like a great start for this year. Also, I do not remember if I mentioned it, but I signed for BookTube prize this year too for the fiction category, but I do not want to do octafinals. Last year it was a painful experience for me, let's say at least, and it put me in reading slump, and it was a very bad start of the year, and I just do not want to do it for myself. I will concentrate more on semifinals, I think. Maybe semifinals and finals, maybe quarterfinals if there will be problems with judges and Robert will need more judges, then maybe I'll sign for this, but definitely not octafinals. About genres, I think I want to read, well, first of all, more mysteries, and I have few ongoing mystery series that I want to continue, like Agatha Christie Poirot series and Inspector Armand Gamache series and Dublin Murder Squad series by Tana French. These are three that I want to reach through the year, like whatever I can. Also, I really want to read more fantasy this year. And I mean, it may sound first that I am doing this for the channel, but actually it will definitely do me no good, because I want to read like backlist of fantasy, and nobody from the young auditory is interested in it right now because they already read it. But fantasy was one of my favorite genre in college and in university, and before that I really want to find my niche in fantasy, so I want to read more of it. I have no idea how I squeeze it all here, but I'll try. We'll see what will happen. Yeah, these are my actually huge plans for the year, but again, they are plans, they are not goals. I set my Goodreads goal for 50 books, and most of the books I want to read are huge. Think War and Peace or even Pillars of the Earth, and I do think that if I read these 50 books like that, I will be a very good girl. But whatever. I do think this all my plans. I forgot something already, but it doesn't matter. Thank you for watching this, and please push like, subscribe, and see you in other videos. Bye!